Okay, I'm going to tie up CDC caddis pupa, and they're really fun to tie up. They work really well. Here's a finished one. Show you on the video there. Don't know how good you can see that, but you'll see it better once we start tying here. So, basic materials, pretty quick fly to tie, and pretty easy to do. So definitely, if you're looking for something quick and fairly easy, this is a good one. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're just going to start with our wrap, and we're just going to put about, I'd say 1/8 of an inch from the bead. You just want to make your little wrap there, and you can either pull that off or trim it off. The first thing that we're going to put on here is going to be our copper wire. You can use a lot of different material for this. I just like to use the copper because I think it shows up really good in the water. But again, you can use tippet. There's a lot of different stuff you can use to make your ribbing or your segmentation. Let's go here. So I'm going to tie this in, and I'm going to start the tie right where I started where I started my thread there, and then you're going to want to come back all the way to about right there. So you want to go down pretty far in there because you want to be able to get your body, get a decent sized body. So you want to go down to about right here on the hook. And again, we're using caddis hooks here, or I'm sorry, scud hooks here. So you can see right here is where I stopped. And you want to come down. I'd rather go too far than not far enough. So with that being done, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put on our pheasant tail, our pheasant quills. And what you want is about 6, usually like about 5 or 6 quills here on there. So you just pull them off the feather and trim them. Perfect. That might be too many, but you can see I've got them cut off of the feather there. So what you want to do when you tie these in is you want to tie these in with the tip facing forward. Just tie it in. Bring your thread up to about the halfway point right there, and you don't need to do a lot here. Just 3 wraps will be good for now. There you go. So we got our tail in there. So basically, now that we have this on, we're pretty much on track to getting a good fly tied with a good. Once you cut that off after you get the 3 turns in, you can bring this down to the. You want to bring this right down to your copper wire. There we go. So you can see we got our pheasant tails and we got our copper wire on. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use some chartreuse ice dub. And so what I do is I just put a little wax on there like normal. And this is the chartreuse ice dub right here. This is good stuff. Works really well for spring stuff because that's kind of what color these insects are in the spring. It's like olive, green, chartreuse kind of color. So what you want to do is you want to take some time to put this dubbing on because you want a little taper there, but not a lot. But you don't want to have huge body on there, and you don't want it to be really buggy at this point in the fly. You want it to be more. You want it to be flatter. You don't want a lot of bugginess in there, so you want to keep this kind of uniform all the way down. And just keep going here. We're going to do about 3/4. We're going to go up about 3/4 inches. Like so. There we go. There. Sometimes just keep spinning it and it'll get better. See, it's not perfect yet, but it's good enough. So we got our green dubbing on there. We're just going to start wrapping forward. Again, start right there by where the pheasant tail and the copper wire stopped. And you're going to want to wrap this dubbing up here. About 3/4 to about the 3/4 point. Right there should be perfect. That'll give us plenty of room to finish it off when we need to get to that point. So we'll just get that in there. There we go. Now the next step is going to be to take your pheasant tail, and we're going to use this as the back of the fly. So when you do this, you want to pull that pheasant tail forward, like so. And you just want to make sure, of course, that you get it right on the top of the fly. So I usually turn it towards me a little bit. There we go. Oh, broke one off. That's not a big deal. So sometimes you have to take these and put them kind of towards the bottom. Because when you turn it, it's going to get up there. So if you get like 2 turns in it, and you can kind of manipulate it to the top. And putz around with it a little bit, get it where you want it. That was actually probably good there. I was just messing around again. Yeah. Should have left well enough alone there. We'll be okay. So you can see that's on the back now. And it's pretty square, so should I put like 3 wraps in there is fine for now. So I can just pop these off. There we go. So you can see we got our pheasant tail back on there. That's our backing material. Could actually probably use another 2 or 3 things of pheasant tail. So what we're gonna do then is we're just gonna make our wrap our brass or copper wire up, and you want to get about 3 or 4 of them wraps in there. And don't worry if once you get it to the top here, I usually don't worry too much about where it stops, because I usually put a couple extra wraps in here anyway, just to give it some more weight, because it helps it get down there quicker. So if you need to do that, you can do that. And you got plenty, you can see you got plenty of room here. So we'll just go like this and like this. Get that wrapped in there like so. It's not going to go anywhere. Take my junk scissors, trim, wrap this back up. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put on here. So you can see we got a nice green body there. Nice chartreuse green body with our pheasant tail on the back. And our copper wire. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, I use what I call CDC feathers. Or Caldenard. It's called Caldenard. And this stuff is great, like hackle material. So what you want to do here is you want to wrap at the tip. So you just want to kind of grab there and pull that. So you want to just separate these out like so. And then make sure these are kind of, you want to make sure these are straight. Sometimes if I look at them like this and I've got a long one in here, like I can see a long one right there, you don't really need them that long on the fly, so I'll just take and trim those off this way. You can also do this once you get it on the fly. I just find that if I get it kind of close here, it would be good. This CDC is awesome. It's good. It's really buggy. There we go. So what you want to do once you get that cleared off is you want to take and just set that on there like so. Doesn't really matter where. And just put like 2 wraps on here. 1, 2, or 3. We do 4 even. Whatever. We got plenty of room. Sometimes you don't have that much room. Just depends on how it turns out. So once you get that on there like that, you just want to trim this off. There we go. And then you want to take and just, you're going to put 2 wraps on this. You can use a hackle pliers for this. Doesn't really matter. I'm still looking at the feathers here to see if I got any long ones, which I can see I still do have some longer ones here. There we go. And I am going to use my hackle pliers on this because I want to get it on there kind of tight. So you just take it like so. I'm going to go around about 2 or 3 times. Yeah, that should be perfect. So you just kind of want to pull these back like so. And you want to take this up like this and just get it wrapped in there. Tighten down, kind of shake it. If you shake it a little bit like this, usually it'll keep a lot of those feathers from getting trapped underneath there. So once you get that in, you just take and trim that off. Now the next step here, what I do is I take this, especially on the top, and I just grab all these feathers. Sometimes you have to lick your finger. But what you want to do here is just pull that off. Just pull this back like so. Because you want these to go backwards, really. Like so. And then just give it some wraps here. About up to where your green body starts. There you go. See, now you can see how they just naturally lay back like that. Which that looks perfect. Trim up these a little bit. There we go. There. Looking good. There. Alright. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put on our peacock ice dubbing. Now again, you can use a lot of different colors for dubbing. I like the Cahill color dubbing, but I'm just for the sake of doing this, I'm going to use some of this stuff here. Just ice dubbing. This is where you really want it to flash if you're going to make, put it on there. So you want really flashy stuff here. So we're putting this on. And this stuff you can make kind of buggy, leave it kind of loose. So let's see what we get here. Alright, so we're just going to start. Make sure you keep those feathers back. I got to start over again now because I stopped. But just spin that on there. There we go. Don't stop when you're doing that, otherwise you're going to have to start over. So you kind of, again, just put that on there. Wrap this forward, right up to the eye. And I think that's going to be good. There. So the next thing is to whip finish. Tighten that up. Pop it off. And I am going to finish this off with some... before I do that, I just want to look at these hairs. I always keep looking at these because you want those pointed back, and that looks good. You just don't want them to extend really a long ways past the end of your hook there. So if you have to trim them, it's not the end of the world. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to take a little head cement here. Just put a drop of it right here. There we go. And now we're going to spin this just to make sure everything looks good on the bottom. Oh boy, that looks really nice. Looking good. And that's it. CDC. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Here, I'll turn this a little bit this way. I wonder if you can see it better. There we go. Yeah, and there it is.